Hi y'all. So today, I know that I've previously done a video tutorial on how to embroider on a rope basket. Today I have a client who's brought me 4 Easter baskets that she wants done for her grandbabies. And I've already gone ahead and embroidered one because I wanted to test and make sure that I could do it successfully without using those 8-in-1 magnetic frames, because I know that they're not available anymore through buy, and they I mean, obviously, like if you go back and watch my video, you'll see how I use them. So if you have the magnetic 8-in-1s, that's something that you might want to try and attempt. But if you do not have them, or if that's just something that's not working for you, what I finally have gotten since that last video was the shoe device. So today I'm going to walk you through how I use the shoe device to embroider these rope baskets, and I know that they can be tricky. I know that they can be intimidating. I actually received this order because she had brought it to someone else in town to embroider on them, and she said it broke the needle, and so the person kind of backed out and said she couldn't do it. So she asked me if I would be willing to try it. I knew that I could do it because I've already done it before without a problem. I did go ahead and use my 80-12 sharp titanium needles. That's typically what I use for hat embroidery, for like structured hat and 3D puff hat. And I can't honestly remember. I probably could go back and watch my video. I can't honestly remember what needles I used last time I did these rope baskets. But I'm pretty sure that, sorry about that. He needs to go outside. I'm pretty sure that I used my regular 7511 needles. I'm gonna have to go take care of him, and I will be right back. And actually, when I jump back, we're just gonna jump right into it, and I'm gonna show you how I hoop these up today. Okay, so I have the one that I've already done. I'm just gonna kind of try to compare and make sure that I've got it about the same height. Personally, I would have liked these to be a little bit more lower and like more centered, but because the shoe device is not that like long, I guess, I did do it a little bit closer to the top just to make sure that it could do it. The way it clamps in, I can't show you because it's on the machine, and I'll bring you over there when I go to hoop it, but it clamps on like this. And then so the bars come probably about here. And I think you could probably embroider further down than the arms or the bars go, but I didn't want to test it too much. This is quite honestly only the second time that I'm using the shoe device, and I will link the video from the first time I used it, because in that video actually I go into far more detail on how to use the how to like set up the shoe device, I guess I should say. And I did that with y'all the very first time as well. So I ran into a couple of hurdles, and it wasn't tight enough, and it kind of messed up the thing that I was doing. So then I went through and readjusted and retightened, but we kind of learned together in that video how to use the shoe device. So I'm not going to go through all of that today in this video. If you need to know how to use the shoe device and how to set it up, you can go back and watch that video. So now with these, because they are so structured and thick, stabilizer is possibly not necessary. I know that I'm seeing a lot of chatter in the embroidery groups that people are not using stabilizer with their structured hats. I know this is not a hat, but I'm just kind of the same general idea that it's structured. Maybe I don't need the stabilizer. But here's the thing. I have so many pieces of scrap stabilizer that to me it's no problem to just use a piece of scrap stabilizer in here. It's not going to waste or anything, and it's just good measure, just making sure. So I'm going to use, you know how I like my spray adhesive. I just like the Spray and Bond personally. I've used other brands, but this one to me is just the one that I prefer. I just don't feel like it leaves a crazy amount of residue left over after I'm done. So this is the one that I like to use. I pick it up at Walmart or Amazon. A lot of times my Walmart will run out of it and it won't be in stock. Probably because I'm the one buying it, to be honest. All right. So I'm just going to spray it on because with this, the shoe device is already installed on the machine, and we're going to go and clip this in. So this is not the initials that I'm doing on this basket. I just am using the same printout from the previous basket because it's the same size and I didn't feel like printing out 4 different ones. But I've got the paper that the client put inside of each basket. Let me just make sure the other ones still have theirs. So this one definitely goes to this. It's going to be SCC. So I'm going to go bring you over there, clip this onto onto the shoe device, and then put the correct design in. Where did my scissors go? This is just the stabilizer, or not, the water soluble stabilizer that I just used on the last basket. Just making sure it's the right size. So I am not sure, and if you watch my other video, if the water soluble stabilizer is 100% necessary, but I just don't want to lose any of the stitching inside of the texture. Sorry, I'm over here on the edge of my table. I don't want to lose any of my stitching inside of the texture of this basket. And I know it doesn't show probably up the greatest on the camera, but she wanted me to match. They all have a heart or a star on the front, so she wanted me to match this color with the embroidery on the other side. And in person, it definitely shows up a lot better. I know cameras and pictures, y'all, there's one of my greatest challenges in this embroidery business is just getting pictures for my clients to show true color. But anyways, it looks much better in person. I know it's probably hard to see. So what was I saying? Oh, the water soluble stabilizer. Don't know if it's necessary, but as good measure, I'm just going to go ahead and use it so that none of the stitching sinks inside of any of that rope texture. So that's just me. You don't necessarily, you could go ahead and try it without if you want to. And honestly, I think it probably would be fine. But again, just good measure. I don't mind throwing a piece of water soluble on top. So that's what I'm personally going to do. So let me bring you over to my machine and show you how I'm going to put this on the shoe device. Okay, here we are. One of the things, and forgive me, I went ahead and just kept these other bars on just because the shoe device fit inside without having to take my regular arms off, and so I'm just lazy, and it was one less step to do to take these off, so that's why there's like extra bars. It didn't get in the way of the last basket that I embroidered, and you can definitely take them off if you want to, if they're in your way. They weren't in my way in this case, so pay this arm here no mind. We're looking down here at the shoe device. So in my other video, I show y'all how to actually tighten these screws to give this clamp a tighter hold on what you're working on. In this case, because this basket is so thick, I actually went ahead and screwed them the opposite way, loosened them up almost all the way because it's so thick. So definitely, if you need to know how to loosen them and tighten them, check out my other video. And then this one on this side over here just is like tighter in general. But it does work, it does fit. So even if it's a little bit of a tight squeeze, I'm kind of making sure that this side, because I know it's tighter, I'm kind of positioning it so it fits in between like 2 of the ropes. So I'm kind of watching that one first. I slide it back as far as I can get it. Go further. It's just being tight. Like I said, this side is very tight. Okay. All right, this side, I love how this side is. I wish both sides were the same. And I've tried to loosen this one, but I actually think it has nothing to do with loosening or tightening. I think it's something to do with, I don't know, the angle. All right. Okay. So, make sure everything looks all right. So once you have it positioned where you want it on the shoe device, and let me actually pull you around on the other side. I think you're going to be able to see better. Okay, so hopefully you can see that a little bit better. But once you have it positioned as far back as you want it, then that is when you're going to push down on these clamps on either side. Oops, I can't find it. It's because my needles are like all, I have this set on needle 12 because if you've watched my other videos, you know that I keep 12, 11, and 10 with my 80-12 sharp titanium needle. So it's set all the way on needle 12. So that's why I'm having a hard time seeing on the other side because the whole thing's over. And actually what I'm about to do next is the trace, which means it's going to go all the way back to needle 1 and then trace out. But I can see that needle 12, honestly, I probably could adjust it a little bit with needle 12 right now because that's just the needle it's set on. But I'm still going to do a trace to make sure that everything... Okay, so that's lined up with the crosshair on this. I am going to do the trace, so it's going to move over. All right, sometimes you're going to make sure you push the bottom of the basket up. It kind of gets stuck on the bar. Okay, I'm going to get my... So that looks good. Everything traced out well. It's lined up with the crosshair, so that looks good. I'm going to go ahead and pin on... I'm going to take the paper off, and I'm going to pin on this piece of water-soluble stabilizer. Just as good measure. And I probably could have done this at my table before I pinned the paper printout on. That would have been honestly the easiest thing, but you know, why do things easy? Okay. Just gonna do this corner. All right, now let me just make sure that none of those needles are in the way. And the stabilizer's where it needs to be. Okay, we're good. All right, now I cannot forget to change this to my other, I don't know if you've seen that. It's my little note from the client, SCC. So I've got to go into my computer and change that, and then we're ready to stitch it out. So I have SCC selected. I'm going to do the little trace. Oh, no, I'm not. Just kidding. There we go. Trace it out. Okay, that's going to allow me to select my color. It's only one color. We're going to do needle 12. Okay, I was going to go ahead and finish them all up, but actually I'm going to show you how I do this. So I sprayed my stabilizer, put it in here. This one's going to be MCM. And so how I found the sender, nothing crazy fancy. I just kind of folded the basket in half and looked for the center of the design on the front. So the top of the star, and I'm just kind of making sure the handles line up. Okay, so that right there is my center. Okay, now, like I said, there was an easier way to probably do this. I have my water-soluble stabilizer ready to go. I'm going to place, hello, come on. I'm going to put this down first, kind of keeping an eye where my center is. Okay, and then I'm going to take my printout. Remember, this is not the letters I'm doing. This is just the same size printout from the first one. So I'm doing MCM. This one's MCR. And I am lacing it on. And then this is my measuring, okay? I know it's from my knuckle to the tip of my thumb is how far down I want the top of that C. So it's right there. And then, where did my pins go? Oh, here's some. And then I'm going to pin it all right to the rope basket. Now, I don't want my stabilizer, when I pull the pin out to take the piece of paper, I don't want my water soluble to go anywhere. So I'm just going to throw a pin on either side of it. That way you don't have to stand there with your fingers in the danger zone holding it down. You make sure you pin stuff out of the way. Okay, so that is now ready to go on the machine exactly like we did before. Okay, well, I successfully got all 4 baskets embroidered today. I'm gonna put some of these down. I hope that this tutorial was helpful to y'all, just how to embroider on these rope baskets. Easter is coming up, so hopefully I can get this video to you soon enough that you will have time to attempt this on some Easter baskets this season. I personally don't do a whole lot of Easter orders for whatever reason. Most of my work is just client requests. So whatever, I just kind of have my name out there. I have a Facebook page, and my business has just been super blessed. And like, I honestly believe it's a blessing from God, because I never had to chase after it. Word of mouth just got out, and I've just been blessed that way. But the nature of my business is basically client requests. So whatever someone comes to me and asks me if I can do, I usually find a way to do it. I've had some items that have become popular because I've made one for one, and then like the whole every single sport mama wanted the exact same sweatshirt. So I've gotten very blessed that way. But just with Easter, for whatever reason, I don't get a whole lot of requests for like the bunnies with the ears with the names. I know a ton of people do very well with those. I have actually never done one. It's just kind of the nature of things, just where I'm at. But I'm excited that I did get to participate in some Easter things this year and make these Easter baskets up for a client. I hope that they're happy with them. I hope that I get more to come, because it's fun to just do some holiday special things, right? So, but I know that Easter's coming up, and I know that a lot of you are going to see a lot of these rope baskets on the market right now, and maybe you thought that they weren't capable of being embroidered. Well, I'm here to show you that you are capable of doing it if you have the right tools. And so if you don't have the shoe device yet, I encourage you to look into getting it, because it's not an item, it's not a tool that I think that I will use every single day. Like the Mighty Hoops, for instance, I use those every single day. Those are a very good investment. Something that I wouldn't trade. Like those things are essentials. Okay, so the shoe device is maybe not necessarily an essential for every day, but I just think it's one of those things that is so good to have. I can't tell you how many times throughout the last 4 years or so, 2021, so I think it's been about 4 years, that I have wished that I had the shoe device, and I've had to figure out how to hoop things a different way. So it's just something I just like to have on hand. This is, like I said, this is only the second time I've used it, but I do think it's something that I will use a lot in the future. I am not sure if it's going to work with any other brand of machine. It's made for bi, so I know it works on bi. I know that other brands have other devices that are similar. That clamp, they're clamps, I think, or some kind of another device, and they might have different sizes and whatnot. But with bi, this is the one they have. And I do think, like, I could have even probably gotten this design a little bit bigger than I have it here, but this is a very good size in my opinion. So the shoe device definitely gives you a lot of options. And I think that if I had attempted this on my other 8-in-1s, I'm not sure that I would have been able to do it as easily, as quickly, and as large. So I'm pretty happy with it. I hope that you guys check it out, give it a try, give embroidering on rope baskets a try. These baskets, I think these ones, she still has the tags on them. She got them from TJ Maxx for 13 bucks. And I know that the one that I did in my last video, I got it on clearance for 5 bucks. So you can pick these up super cheap all over the place. I know that they sell them in sets on Amazon. So I've thought about getting a set for my kids. I have 3 kids, so I wanted to put their name on each one so they could put their summer swimsuits in them, because right now they're all piled up together and it's a mess. Every time they go in there to get one bathing suit, they pull them all out and they're all over. So that's my plan for the future, just putting their names on each basket. But I just think these are great because they're also very sturdy. If you're looking for like a good sturdy basket and you want to be able to embroider on it, like a lot of totes are plastic, you're not going to be able to embroider on those. These are great options. So I hope that you give this a try, and just thank you so much for watching my video today. Give me a like, share, subscribe, all of the things. You know that I love reading your comments. I'm just so encouraged by this community and just the positive response that I've had from you all. I'm honestly blown away. So thank you so much for watching. And again, I just hope that you found this helpful.